The world was stunned today by the death of Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet. Baby Diego was stabbed outside a bar in Buenos Aires after refusing to sign an autograph.
Hello, my name is Dylan Thompson, and the film I have chosen to analyze is Children of Men, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Children of Men is a near-future dystopia of the United Kingdom, where the world has gone into an infertility crisis. The story follows hopeless alcoholic Theo Farron, who finds hope and the key to humanity. He is kidnapped by the militant refugee rights group, the Fishies, led by his wife, who were separated through the death of their son in 2008 by the flu. They offer Theo money in exchange for getting transit papers from his cousin, who works high up in the government. Theo can only acquire joint transit papers, meaning he has to be there with the person, and these transit papers are for an African-American refugee woman named Key, which we find out is pregnant later on. The story follows Theo trying to get Key to a rumored boat called the Tomorrow, which is basically a hospital, and the intense struggles and challenges Theo and Key face. I will be discussing active versus passive audiences, target audiences, legal and ethical issues, my survey findings, and the overall complexity and layers of detail that this film has. Passive versus active audience members. A passive audience member would notice and be engaged in the action scenes and the chase scenes, which still allow for surface level enjoyment without needing deeper analysis. The sci-fi / dystopian tropes also apply to this. While on the other hand, an active audience member would notice the incredible long continuous shots, which forces viewers to observe all the details and feel the chaos in real time. The shot being shown currently is my personal favorite shot in any film ever, and has incredible direction, set direction, realism, choreography, and most of all, cinematography. The shot is nearly 8 minutes long, so I'm obviously going to speed it up, and recorded by my personal favorite cinematographer, Emmanuel Lubezki. These types of long, continuous, and realistic shots are very common in Spanish filmmaking, such as directors like Alfonso Cuarón, who directed, obviously, Children of Men, Roma, Y Tu Mamá También, Harry Potter, The Prisoners of Azkaban, and many more. There's also the director of Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, The Revenant, Amor Espejos, and many more. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm just going to put it up on the screen because, well, you can see, but yeah. An active audience member would also notice the minimal exposition and has to put the pieces together through information subtly dropped throughout the film. Alfonso Cuarón rewards active audience members by hiding world-building details throughout the film and uses immersion rather than exposition to pull audiences into the world's realism and anxiety. The target audience. This film's target audience is primarily adults 18 to 45 years of age who are interested in social issues, global politics, and human rights. This is because it depicts real-world problems such as refugee crises, surveillance nationalism, and overall discrimination and racism. This film also targets film students, cinephiles, and fans of dystopian / sci-fi films. This is because this film is one of, if not the greatest, dystopian movies of all time, with its profound realism and being beautifully crafted. Ethical and legal issues. Some ethical and legal issues this film could be argued to have is how it depicts migrants as rounded, sympathetic victims of brutality. While some critics say this could risk exploiting trauma by mirroring real refugee camps, some also say that this brings awareness to the topic and puts them somewhat in a good light by making the woman who can save humanity a minority and refugee. Another ethical issue that people could argue is the film's graphic depiction of war zone violence, which raises concerns about audience desensitization versus social awareness. Alfonso Cuarón intentionally makes violence uncomfortable, not glorified. In my survey, I asked 5 questions. 1. Have you seen this film before? 2. Would you describe yourself as an active or passive audience member of this type of film? 3. What audience do you think this film targets? 4. How well do you think this film handles representation? And 5. What genre elements stood out to you? I surveyed Mr. G, my mom, my stepdad, my grandma, and my girlfriend, and these were the results. All of them have seen the film and consider themselves active viewers of it. They think the film's target audience is mainly adults interested in political and social themes, fans of dystopian and sci-fi films, and people who appreciate creative filmmaking and long-take shots. They think the representation is mostly positive by showing diversity, refugee struggles, and being in a realistic world setting. Some criticize the male-focused storytelling and the limited development of Key's character. Some standout genre elements they found were the dystopian sci-fi role, the thriller/escape narrative, and the handheld documentary style cinematography, saying that it really draws you into the world of Children of Men. Even though the people I surveyed ranged widely in age and background, from a teenager to a grandparent, they mostly agreed that Children of Men is aimed at more mature audience. They felt the film works best for viewers who like political commentary, realistic dystopian stories, and deeper themes. Despite their differences, their answers all pointed to the idea that the film is designed for thoughtful, engaged audiences rather than the casual viewers. Other details. One thing I've noticed through my many times of watching this film is its incredible use of music, primarily this angelic opera type of music during scenes of great significance to Theo and to the world. For example, when jeopardized, this affects Theo deeply as he was his closest friend and almost takes all of Theo's hope away. Another moment is when Key gives birth. This is obviously very important to a world of infertility. 2 other moments where you can hear this is when Key is walking through the wrecked-down building full of fishies, refugees, and military, yet everybody stops fighting and stops to take in the beautiful moment of hope for everybody. This scene is incredible. It shows how children are the world's hope and how life can bring us all together. My fine example of this is when Theo and Key are at the meeting point to deliver Key to the tomorrow, and Theo is bleeding out. Key decides to name the baby Dylan,
It's a girl's name too.
which was the name of the baby Julian and Theo had. Theo bleeds out shortly after this, but dies with a smile on his face and full of hope for humanity. Children of Men is an incredible film about how kids bring hope to this world and how life brings us all together. It targets adults who are interested in political and social issues, film students and cinephiles, and fans of dystopian and sci-fi films. It handles representation well with realistic world settings and representation of refugees. It has deep levels of complexity through its cinematography, set design, sound design, and overall direction. All in all, Children of Men is one of the greatest films of all time and a masterclass of cinematography.